A new element has been added to the non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more?
Oh, Lord.
Yes. For
Yeah,
this debate,
I
lines
guess.
of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions.
What?
Your truth bullets will disappear if they hit these lines, so think of them as obstacles in your debate. Well then, good luck and have fun.
Great.
Does it just attach it, or does it actually shoot the thing? Genocide Jack, case file, library, disk lamp, locker room, dumbbell. Okay. Case file, I'm assuming.
That's my guess.
Right click.
Seriously?
As far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible.
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on. There's just no proof for it.
Ah! Okay.
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong!
I got to see the secret case file that's gonna get me murdered when I get out of here.
What?
What?
I found
Yes?
this file while I was looking around the archive in the library.
You mean Byakuya found it and handed it to me?
I guess
He
it's
sure
some kind
did.
Of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What?
Right.
That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now. More
I don't know.
importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in
Exceeding detail.
According to the
Sexy.
file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
No. It's actually bloodlust.
Thank you.
Thank you.
More important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
The other characteristic of every Genocide Jack case, which the world at large doesn't know.
It's how they're positioned.
Yes.
I got it.
I got it!
Apparently,
You hate
in
him
every
so much?
Genocide Jack case,
Wait,
the killer
weren't you the one
suspends
saying
the
that's my
body in a
best boy or
certain way.
whatever?
She's talking about Hifumi.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's pretty awful.
To Liam.
Other
Certain
than the
way.
Killer, the only
Yeah,
people who know
he is
about
gross.
this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way.
Kind of.
I hate you so much.
So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of.
They guessed!
It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide
I love you,
Jack
Mondo.
is one of
I love him
us?
too.
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
Jesus, just throwing that out there. Christmas, Byakuya.
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
I disagree. I agree.
Hey,
Yeah, she's like, I don't, what, huh?
hold on a second. Toko has like bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind
Bloodophobia.
of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Right.
Another riddle. Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
Because her other personality wouldn't have bloodophobia. But
Duh.
she's also not Genocide Jack, so.
It does seem like a riddle in a way, but I feel like I can just about see it. Genocide Jack is Toko, but isn't Toko. What does it mean?
She has multiple
Oh god,
personality
but can you
disorder.
spell knife in this fun minigame?
What the fuck is it trying to spell?
H-I...
I don't know. 4 letters left. I don't really understand. I'm really confused.
Split personality disorder is what it's trying to, like, tell us, more or less. What is it trying to spell? I'm gonna take a guess.
Oh
I.
no!
That's not I. Schizo.
Oh, schizo. Thanks.
Isn't that derogatory?
Understand?
Is schizo the actual term?
Schizo's
Is
about,
it
like,
because Genocide
I don't think
Jack
it's exactly
has a
the same
split
as
personality?
DID.
Yeah,
I know you hear voices, but I don't know enough about schizophrenia to make a.
Well, schizo was like almost worse because it was like HI is like, huh?
Huh?
They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Yeah.
Okay,
DID.
but still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly
Kind of
acceptable.
fucking rude, Byakuya.
Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
One thing that shows Toko could have a split personality has to do with her behavior.
I mean, her behavior
It
changed.
changed.
I got it. You're
got
talking
it.
about how she started acting
Her
totally
behavior,
different than usual,
changed.
right?
Yeah.
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up,
She was a little loopy.
Fine, I'm fine. Kya haha. What was that, a dead body? Hey, are you dead?
Hey, are you? Hey. Poke, poke.
Hey,
are you
are you
dead?
dead?
Poke, poke. Hey, listen.
Head real hard when she fainted. The world has a front and a back, a top ending and
yeah.
a bottom, a sea of truth and a web of lies.
Right.
This is quite concerning. I mean, she sounds completely different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
not to mention, when she
I love that.
regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words,
Well, she
within her
was
is
out
one
of it.
personality that can handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when
Yeah, but-
Toko trapped herself in her room,
Sorry,
it's because
after
she
this
was
line.
scared of Genocide Jack?
Go ahead.
Well, I don't know. His theory doesn't make a ton of sense because it's not like Toko went into Genocide Jack mode. She was just like, I have lost it because I'm afraid of blood and I have been triggered and I hit my head and I fainted and I'm not with it. Big difference between that and bloodlust. Byakuya.
Maybe
you would choose-
Genocide Jack isn't just like a turbo murder fiend. Maybe they have like a...
Who writes bloodlust on the wall? Pretty sure he's a turbo murder.
Okay. Definitely a serial killer, for sure. No doubt about that. We'll get there.
Subi finally answered a question.
Oh, I don't have AC. Subi, that was like 20 minutes ago.
Let's do another stuff.
I won't let Genocide Jack have control. I'll drive out the killer, drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Oh.
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last
Yeah.
night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You
She's actually a
promised.
murderous fiend.
I can't believe you lied!
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that
But-
as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise,
Yeah, she had a problem.
I'm sorry, I couldn't keep our promise. but don't worry, never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again.
Are we sure she's not acting because she's in love with him or something?
That's the only reason, I promised.
Given her, like, super shy personality, I don't know if she could keep up an act like that, honestly.
She's a writer.
Not an actor.
I think, well, potentially, but I think, I don't know, when I'm writing things, I'm totally acting them out. Like, she could have written a whole, like, plot to make her seem not weak and stuff. Right, well, doesn't mean you can play the part too, right? True. However, I don't know. I feel like she was putting on an act for him. Because he's so, like, strong, and he was, like, shaming everybody else, and it's every man for himself, and blah, blah, blah. And then she comes to him and is like, hey, actually, I'm potentially a murderous fiend, so that's hot, right? And he's like, well, that is kind of hot, but just keep it to yourself. And then Chihiro ends up dead. I mean, he could have showed her the file too.
He could have.
How many times
I'm not
do I have
convinced.
to tell you? I never said that. But you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it.
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
They're rude.
I hate you.
Whoa.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person you don't mean.
Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second...
She's on her feet. And she's
Hello
insane.
there. Is it me you were hoping to see?
Genocide Jill? Sure.
What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
Okay.
So... your theory...
A little blown. I guess I kind of have to believe it at this point. So what the fuck is this?
Yeah,